What's up guys, Houndish here, and today we're jumping in to round up a bunch of secrets in Destiny 2 Renegades. Now, I guess it's kind of a guide. These are actual things you can do in the game right now to get various unlocks, additions for the Praxic blade, also secret variants of weapons. We'll also cover how to get the Renegades exotic armor pieces if you didn't run the Legend campaign, an exotic Vanguard order that gives a unique upgrade to the Praxic blade and actually buffs it to have infinite ammo, which is certainly something that could be taken advantage of to some extent. But we also have hidden reloads for weapons, interactions with vendors on Tharsis Outpost, and a few other things. So if you guys enjoyed the video, feel free to drop us a rating and comment down below for the algorithm. I would very much appreciate you, but otherwise, let's get into it. Starting out with Syndicate and Renegades gear-related things, firstly, for any of the Syndicates in Tharsis Outpost, once you reach rank 2, it will allow exotic keycards to drop randomly in Lawless Frontier activities, and they'll come from chests or completions. Each of the keys that we get will actually be housed in our wallet for the Lawless Frontier, and we'll be able to use them to open secret rooms on the Lawless maps. Now, the specific areas that we can find these will actually be listed on the key. So if you get one, pay attention to it and head to the appropriate map to try and find the locked door. And when we use the key to open the door, there'll be a couple of chests. We can open those, and if you didn't get the new exotic armor pieces for Renegades from the Legend campaign, they can actually drop here. I'm not sure if they're guaranteed because I got mine from the campaign itself, but it is another source if you didn't run Legend campaign. Additionally, they'll drop extra Lawless Frontier loot, packages, and things like that. So reach rank 2 with your factions and then look out for those. Otherwise, in the new seasonal hub, which now has these kind of Vanguard or Gunsmith orders, these are basically the new bounty system built into the season hub. There is an exotic order, the Praxic Professional, that we can get, and this is found randomly by completing orders in the hub, so there's RNG involved in actually getting it to drop. But if you do get it, completing it will give the gold crystal color for the Praxic blade. And you have to defeat combatants in Pinnacle Ops activities on expert difficulty or higher without dying while using the Praxic blade. But it additionally comes with an extra buff, which might be worth paying attention to. While the order is active, the Praxic blade regenerates ammo in Pinnacle Ops activities. And the speed that it does this, my friend Duddits got one of these bounties dropped. The ammo regen speed is very quick, and that basically means you get infinite ammo as long as you have that bounty active. If you die, obviously it resets progress on this bounty. So given that the bounty lasts for an entire week, you could, if you wanted to, hold onto it and use it for infinite ammo Praxic blade inside of Pinnacle Ops activities. Just be aware that after 7 days, it will actually expire and go away, so if you don't want to miss out on the opportunity for the crystal, you would then need to complete it before it expires. Another worthwhile mention on the subject of Vanguard orders though, keep an eye out on the legendary Gunsmith orders, as they do have the potential to drop lawless weapon mods, so those are the kind of temporal mods for season weapons, but nice to have if you can pick some up. Then of course there are other Praxic upgrade sources, and specifically for the crystals, there's one that you get from Invasion, that's the red one, and it is a random drop presumably with a better drop chance on successful invasions. So if you want the red one, go and invade, I guess. Looking at other Praxic blade upgrades though, we can get the Refraction Core, and this is via another secret, I suppose, in Tharsis Outpost. Of course, the mod gives elemental effects to the Praxic blade, and it's found by giving credits to this sleeping fallen enemy in Tharsis Outpost. So as soon as you spawn into the outpost, if you turn around, there's a little kind of shanty town, and the fallen will actually spawn in slightly different areas in this small zone. I believe it changes on a daily basis, but you can give credits to this enemy and it can randomly drop the Refraction Core from here as well. So you just have to keep buying stuff. It could be 200 credits or you could spend 5,000 credits before you get it, but this is where it comes from. Otherwise, obviously, Praxic blade lists where most of its upgrades can actually be found. There's another one associated with Tharsis Outpost though, which is the Impact Core, and we can see it's found occasionally for sale in Tharsis Cantina. And when it does come up for sale, it'll actually be on the vendor at the bar, the bartender, I suppose. So on a daily basis, it's worth sidling up and just checking if anything is yet for sale. Otherwise, there are upgrades linked to the Lawless Frontier and of course the Syndicates, requiring different rank thresholds and things like that. So you can use the sword to give you an idea of where you'll get those. Additionally, Esoteric has a good video with all of the catalyst upgrades that are currently available from the Fire and Ice mission. So if you want to rerun that and get some of the catalysts, I'll link that video down below. other secrets in Tharsis Outpost, but there are some NPC interactions that you can get involved with. One is a fallen enemy that's digging on the ground. You can approach them, you'll spot them in different areas of Tharsis Outpost, and when you approach them, they'll basically tell you to go away at first, but then if you approach them a second time, they'll drop some dark matter ingots, and I believe you can find this enemy digging in 3 or 4 different locations before it ultimately stops giving you currency, unless of course there's anything associated with daily resets that may link to future secrets. Another one, above Tharsis Bazaar, at the very top here, there's a door that you can approach. When you approach it, it'll give some cryptic text, and then nearby, there'll be a sleeping Vex enemy that you can interact with. It will simply say eavesdrop, and you'll have to eavesdrop a couple of times every time you find this enemy, but that will drop a passcode that you can take back to the door, and the door will actually reward you with a handful of different packages that need to be delivered to certain areas in the bazaar. The first one needs to go to the drop box in the bazaar, which is actually next to where you can purchase a chest piece bang in the middle. Once you've done that, next time you return to Tharsis Outpost, you'll be able to find that sleeping Vex in other spots and basically repeat a similar process, each time being rewarded with more of these dark matter ingots. Like I say, for the moment, they're kind of minor secrets, I guess, or Easter eggs that just give some extra currency, but it could be that they're linked to bigger secrets in the future. I'll have to keep you posted. A final couple of mentions here for some interesting blaster interactions. My friend Duddits was showing me this, but for the blasters, when you actually reload them, obviously if you get to 100% heat, the reload will take a longer period of time, but if you start firing the weapon in the last sort of 10% of the bar as it cools down, you'll get a buff called Dynamic Heat Limiter, which actually reduces how quickly the weapon accumulates heat on the next magazine. So a perfect reload on this essentially consists of getting as close to 100% heat as possible, because obviously that means you can fire the weapon for longer. You don't want to hit 100% heat though, as the reload will be very slow, but when you get down to below 10% heat as it's reloading, if you start firing the weapon again, the next time you're firing will take 2 or 3 seconds longer to reach maximum heat, which is basically the equivalent of having a larger magazine, I guess. So there are some interesting reload interactions built into them as well. An additional thing to keep in mind with blasters, but there is a hidden extra trait that can drop on pre-masterworked versions of these blasters, which appear to come mainly as random drops on high difficulty Lawless Frontier runs. So it's kind of an alternate weapon really. There is the accelerated assault origin trait that you can get on them, where dealing sustained damage with the weapon loads a small amount of ammo from reserves, or removes heat and slightly increases damage. So look out for pre-masterworked versions of these weapons, as they will get that extra origin trait. For the moment, that's what we have to round up, so I hope this has been useful or interesting. The exotic order is worth looking out for those Praxic blade upgrades, but also some interesting interactions in Tharsis Outpost, and indeed on weapons. So if you enjoyed the video, a rating below very much helps me out. Also be sure to get subscribed and I'll keep you up to date with more content, but otherwise thanks for watching, and I hope you have an awesome day.